Well, hello there. How's everything? Today's lecture we are going to talk about language attitudes. So first of all, we have to know some definitions about language attitudes. What is attitudes? Okay, who are the pioneers of this term? All right? So, Opiles defines attitudes as a mental disposition towards something. It acts as a bridge between opinion and behavior. Opinion and behavior, as you can see. It is a bridge between opinion and behavior. This is what, according to Opiles, Ryan and others defined language attitudes as any cognitive. Affective means emotional. Cognitive means something in mind, okay? And behavioral, which is an action. Index of evaluative reactions toward different language varieties or speakers. Other definitions: an attitude, according to Bogardus, is a tendency to act toward or against something in the environment, which becomes thereby positive or negative value. So, according to Bogardus, attitudes is a tendency to act, okay, against something in the environment, whether it is positive or negative value. According to Chave, an attitude is a complex of feelings, desires, fears, or other tendencies that have given a set of readiness to act to a person because of varied experiences. So, as you can see, students, that there is a lot of definitions for attitudes, but all these definitions, according to all boards, are suggestions. It does not fit the satisfactory definition for attitudes. The following definition has the merit of including recognized types of attitudes. It excludes those types of readiness which are expressly innate. Okay, here the most important definition. This is the most important definition according to Allport, after he is saying that all the other definitions are just suggestions. Okay, he states that an attitude is a mental and the neural state of readiness, organized through experience. Look, these are important notes. First of all, it is a mental and neural states of readiness, organized through experience, exerting a directive or dynamic influence upon the individual's response to all objects and situations with which it is related. Here we have components of language attitudes can be defined according to affective, which means emotional components, and behavioral components, which is an actional components, and cognitive components, cognates, mental components. Here the first one, affective components, it refers to the emotional reactions. Look, emotional reactions or feelings an individual has toward an object, person, issue, or situation. For example, liking, just like this, disliking, love, hate, fear, just like this one. Okay, so all emotions are called affective. Behavioral. From this picture, it seems so terrible. Anyway, we have behavioral components. It refers to how one behaves or acts toward an object, person, issue, or situation based on their attitudes. For example, screaming at the sight of a particular insect or rodent, like this one. Look how he is running and screaming when he saw these insects. Here we have cognitive. Cognitive component means beliefs, thoughts, and attributes that an individual associates with an object, person, issue, or situation. So cognitive components refers to the beliefs, thoughts, attributes, and so on. So, for example, thinking that someone is good person because he donate to charity, okay, he is good. It is about thinking. Maybe he is good or maybe he is not, but it is cognitively thinking that he is good. Example for all these three components. For example, someone has a fear of spiders. This one, okay, someone has a fear of spiders. That what we call it affective because it is related to emotions, fear. They might avoid places where they believe spiders may be present. When they will avoid these places, so it is an action which is called behavioral. Cognitive one, due to their belief that all spiders are harmful. When they believe in something, we said cognitive means beliefs, thoughts, attributes towards something. When they believe about something, it is cognitive. When they act, it is behavioral. When they feel, okay, it is affective. So this is an example for all these three components. Here we have factors. There are social factors. Why social factors? Because they talk about how language attitudes are built in a different kinds of context with different kinds of people. Okay? That's really important point here. How it is social factor, why it is called social factors, because they talk about how language attitudes are built in different kinds of contexts with different kinds of people. So these three factors, such as family context, cultural factor, or the socio-economic condition. We will explain them one by one. Family context. It is essential in the language attitudes. Essential, which means it is a basic one. In language attitudes, because it is the place and people that grow up with and have a great affinity with them. For example, if a mother or father have a bad language attitudes, they are going to teach to their children the same bad language attitudes. Look at this picture, you will get it. If the father has a bad attitude, he will teach the same bad attitude to his son. So it is family context. Culture factor means that there is a lot of differences between cultures and people. It creates language attitudes because they share a similar culture with people living in the same city. For example, greetings, like, look, culture factor means that there is a similar things in culture. They share it with the same people that they are living with. But if there is differences between those people, there will be a bad thing. Okay, for example, like shaking hands in Germany, Zambia, Iraq, and the Middle East, shaking hands. While in the other countries, there will be another thing for greeting, not shaking hands. Okay, namaste they call it, which means placing both hands together with a slight bow in India, like this one. Namaste. Bow or bowing in Japan. This is the way how they greet each other. So there is a different culture factors between other countries. If it is the same, so it is good. But if there is differences between them, it is bad. The socioeconomic condition, it is the most important factor to create the attitude to language. I see that the socioeconomic condition is the most important one from all these three factors because family and culture factor share the same thing. Both of them are related to which one is doing. For example, the family, their attitudes in their home, it is the same. Maybe they share the same attitudes. Actually, the same with other cultures when they share the same cultures, okay? If they were in the same country. But for socioeconomic, it can develop. If a person have an ability in order to travel to another countries, then they will get a new attitudes from other places and countries. If they do not have the ability in order to travel, okay, then it will be bad because they will never learn anything. Okay. Socioeconomic factors affect one's ability to engage in health activities, medical care, housing, manage stress. For example, unemployment provides income which enable access to housing, education, childcare, food, medical care, and other needs. Same for language. So, as I have told you previously, that it depends on the ability in order to develop what you have in. Okay? So, that was all about today. Thanks for your watching.